Metragonous speciosa, or kratom as it's commonly known, is an herb related to the coffee plant. Native to Southeast Asia, kratom has gained great popularity in the U.S. in the last decade as a natural remedy for pain, anxiety, and depression. Users ingest the crushed kratom leaf as a powder, in capsules, or in tea to feel its mildly stimulating to heavily pain-relieving and sedative effects, depending on the dosage taken. An estimated 3 to 5 million Americans use the drug yearly, and many swear by it as a natural way to rid themselves of opiate addictions.
Ease the pain and the withdrawals from post-acute withdrawals, not just the, pain the first couple of weeks and the diarrhea. It helped, with the depression, the anxiety, and all that.
This is Caleb Barlow. He's a kratom user who also produces his own kratom extract that he sells online.
First got into kratom about 2 years ago. I found it at a gas station, just on a little clear display right at the front. Asked them about it, and they kind of ran me down what it was. So I was coming off methadone, and I tried it, and it helped a little bit. I stayed, not sober, I guess, because I'm taking methadone, but I stayed off of, Roxy's and oxycodone and heroin and all that, while I was on methadone. So I finally wanted to get off and felt like I was right in the head. It was time, and kratom helped that when I found it.
In August of 2016, the Drug Enforcement Administration attempted to schedule kratom in the same category as LSD and heroin.
DEA put out an emergency intent to schedule, which is within 30 days they're going to put it as a Schedule 1 substance. They deemed it a threat to the population.
A petition against the ban garnered over 142,000 signers and 23,000 online commenters, convincing the DEA not to schedule it.
It's got to go through FDA approval. It's got to go through years of tests, and considered a dietary supplement. It doesn't have to go through all the rigorous years of testing and all that.
Kratom remains unscheduled and is sold with little regulation as a dietary supplement. This laissez-faire treatment has led scores of kratom companies to pop up in an attempt to capitalize on the $5 billion industry. It's also allowed Caleb to start and run his own business out of his house.
Yeah, we just take a couple even parts of kratom strains, and we make a full spectrum extract out of it. It takes, heat and ovens and, lab equipment and stuff. So we do that, and we also just sell the regular plain leaf, and also a supercritical extract, which isn't something we make personally.
With such few rules to abide by, consumers don't really know where their kratom is coming from. Kratom sellers can choose to have their products tested for impurities and potency, but they're not required to.
We've stepped up, and a lot of vendors have stepped up and started trying to regulate the industry themselves and do the testing and, show our customers, put on our websites, the testing and all that, and lab work and all that, showing, what the product is.
But as recently as February, the FDA classified kratom as an opioid, citing 36 deaths associated with kratom and underscoring its dangerous and addictive potential.
It's definitely anything that touches on your opioid receptors, I think, is going to be addictive, which, it's not really even an opinion. It's your opioid receptors are what makes us happy, what brings us euphoria, what relieves pain. It's pretty factual that anything that binds to those receptors has a chance to be addictive.
Research shows that kratom's active ingredients, metragonine and 7-hydroxymetragonine, have similar molecular structures to classic opiates like morphine. They act on some of the same brain receptors, which could explain why users report higher doses of kratom having opiate-like effects.
Addictive, I guess, levels of severity, differ, but it can be addictive for sure. But as far as being addictive as methadone or Oxycontin or, anything else, opioid-wise, it's not near as severe, in my opinion.
Kratom's wide-open market does pose a potential hazard for customers. 9 of the deaths mentioned in the FDA's report were a series of overdoses in Sweden that were caused by opioid-tainted kratom. However, All but one of the deaths listed in the report were people who had multiple substances in their system. The report also included a suicide, a gunshot wound to the chest, and a man who fell out of a window and refused treatment.
If you're somebody that has an extremely addictive personality and, just wanting to take it for recreation or something, there's probably no reason to.
The risks that kratom poses do need to be addressed, but with 115 people dying every day from opiates, should the DEA and FDA focus its efforts elsewhere?